Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, squirrels and turtles, to Indie Reviews with JerkyChid. This time we're talking about the Imaginarium of Dr. Parnasuss, or to many, the final movie of Heath Ledger. Basically, Dr. Parnasuss is an ancient mystic who makes a deal with the devil. But you can pretty much get that from the trailer anyway. Now, it might not be a very good idea, but I'm going to compare this to Avatar, because both have big, fantastic visuals. Now, whereas Avatar was mostly a simple story to showcase incredible visuals, Imaginarium is quite the opposite and is much like James Cameron's old work, which uses the visuals to carry on the story. Now, I gotta say, this made me think of cartoons from my childhood, which were all about using your imagination, things like that. Mostly stuff put on my MGM that nobody really remembers, but hey, I do at least, so that's gotta count for something, right? Well, anyway, you may be surprised about how many characters in this film are just not good people. Dr. Parnasuss is a drunk and a gambler, a really bad gambler, which drives the plot, of course. His daughter is basically a selfish little brat who looks like a hideous Chihuahua, in my opinion. His assistant, Anton, doesn't really know how to do his job right, which is to lure in customers, and only wants to get in his daughter's pants. Parnasuss' daughter. That would be a completely different movie if it was the other way around. When you find out more about Heath Ledger's character, he's horrible. He's just not a good guy when you really get down to it. I'm sure you may think that in the very beginning, but really the best person in here is Percy, who is played by Vern Troyer, who is also one of the worst actors of the bunch. Well, it's not that he's bad, really. It's that he's speaking dialogue that is obviously for a British person or someone that speaks English, and he doesn't even try to put on an accent. And he's also very discriminative against midgets. If you didn't know, Vern Troyer is a dwarf, not a midget. I will explain it, but they can also explain the movie. So, yeah, go see the movie. And of course, the devil obviously isn't a good person, but he keeps things interesting and you keep on wanting to watch him. You keep on wanting to watch how he toys with Dr. Parnasuss. Now, I know a lot of people might be wondering about the whole 4 actors playing the same character thing. Well, it's actually done very well. See, every time someone goes into the imaginary world, there's a possibility of them turning into another person. So, you're really not all that surprised when Heath Ledger turns into Johnny Depp. In fact, before that happens, Heath Ledger is acting like Johnny Depp anyway. Now, really, Heath Ledger's character changing to a different face isn't such a bad thing. I mean, you don't really know who he is anyway, so seeing him portrayed by a different actor isn't so jarring when it's just the same person. And this really shows the skill of Johnny Depp, Colin, Farrel, and Jude. They are actors that really can get grasp on the character. This is one thing that Heath Ledger is really good at. Also, they were all friends of Heath's. I read that Tom Cruise also wanted to be included in there, but the director wouldn't allow it because he wasn't a friend of Heath's, quite simply. And I think it goes to show just how these four friends really understood each other and could understand the character. And if it was somebody like Tom Cruise, well, he just doesn't get it. He would just be Tom Cruise. So what rating does this film deserve? Well, let's back over a few points. Visually, it is, well, as in the name, very imaginative. The story has good points. It's not all that complicated, but if you're trying to explain this to somebody in depth, then yeah, you're gonna have some problems. It keeps you going, it keeps you watching. I have to say 4.75 out of 5. This is JerkyChid, and I'll see you next time. Independent or Hollywood, sober or drunk.